Hello, Facebook. Going to give it a couple minutes to make sure that Shauna gets in here and that our technology is working as it should. Here she is. Amazing. Hello, Shauna, you made it. Awesome.
Hello, I did. Yay.
All right, so for those of you watching, a little backstory on Sunday, I did not have a voice whatsoever. Shauna and I tried to do this a couple times and it kept failing. And then once we actually got into the call and I started to talk, her face said everything. I could barely get a squeal out. So we postponed it till tonight, and I am so excited to really get started. So we do have quite a few people joining us right now. So if you kind of want to just introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself, and kind of where you were in your journey when you reached out to me.
Okay. My name is Shauna. Hi, it's nice to meet everyone. I have no idea what the comments are or how many people are watching, so just hello. I started my journey last May. I had gotten up to the biggest really I've ever been, and started to go walking and increase my activity. And I've done that a lot of times over the years. The weather gets nicer, I get more active, I lose weight, it gets colder, and I gain all of that weight back. And I didn't change anything else other than my activity. And then couldn't be as active in the winter. So it was in that fall, like late summer, was when I reached out to you, kind of knowing that that was coming. And I didn't want to lose the progress I had made. I'd lost about 15 pounds, give or take, when we started. And since that last May, I've lost about 47 pounds at this point, and it's so far staying off and continuing to go down. And I'm a mom. I've got a 21-year-old stepdaughter, and I have a 10-year-old son. And I just really wanted to make sure I could take care of myself as I got older so that I could continue to take care of them. I think that was my big, oh, something's got to change motivator.
Yeah, so you're kind of like the sole caretaker of your family. So that's when you kind of wanted to get your health in check and make sure that, because at the end of the day, if you weren't good, your family wasn't good.
Right. Yeah, my husband is great. He's really supportive. But he has his own struggles and some medical issues, and most, I would say, of the caregiving for especially my son is me, and he is special needs, and me not being able to help is really just not a good option for our family. So I need to make sure I'm taking care of myself.
That's amazing. Nicole wants to, she asked if you were trapped in the basement.
Yeah. No, I'm not. But mention that 10-year-old, he is running around upstairs, and there are two doors, and both of them are shut. And there's really good light down here. So I am not trapped. I'm here
Yeah,
by
she
choice.
was fantastic.
Mhm.
What are
I'm okay.
some things that you tried in the past when you were trying to lose weight before?
Gosh, a lot. Uh, so my sister tried to get me to do cleanse. I love you, Laura, if you're watching. Not a criticism against you, but she would try and do like fad things, and I would do them with her. Um, every now and again, like I know they don't work. They just don't. They didn't ever really work for me. Um, I tried Weight Watchers. I did that a couple times, and I would lose a little bit of weight, but really it was like eating their meals and buying all of their prepackaged stuff. And then when you stop doing that and you haven't changed anything else or learned anything better about nutrition, like it doesn't stick. Um, I tried Shakeology and the 90-day challenge. I actually really like Power 90. The guy who does it is way less judgmental than I thought. Like the DVDs themselves are good stuff. But the stuff that comes along with it is really lacking. There's a big push to get the shakes, and I didn't really like that. I didn't like the way they made me feel either. Um, so I would lose weight on that, and then like I hurt my leg doing one of the exercises, and so I stopped and I got out of all of the habits I'd done. Like really, the only times I saw any weight come off is when I increased my activity, and like did some kind of prepackaged plan. And then whenever I stopped doing those or both, everything came back plus a little bit more, usually.
So I like that you touched on activity, just for everyone else's sake and seeing how successful you were with losing all of that weight. What activity did you do during our time together?
So I love going walking, and I'm very lucky enough to live next to a small lake and a park. And so I go walking around that all the time, every day when I can, unless it's really bad weather, and sometimes even in bad weather. Um, when I started working with you, we kind of increased one of my weekly goals was to do other types of exercise too, to kind of expand that and stuff that I could do in bad weather because I was really worried about when the winter came and I'd start gaining everything back. So I have some free weights and we looked up some yoga. I found one that you can do in bed. It's actually really relaxing and it's deep breath and just kind of stretching. And you just relax your body down and you wind the day and you try and be really present in the moment. And it's only 15 minutes. And there was a bed routine and a morning routine. And I really liked both of them. And those were things that I could always do in my house. And really, if I traveled, because sometimes I do travel for work, and I could do that in the hotel. And actually, I know it's not exactly what you asked, but this is the first time that we've gone to the hotel and I've actually used the gym facility. And I remember when I was down there, like there's actually like this 20 something, really ripped young man from college. He said he saw me from up in his room and I motivated him to come down and join me. And then like he's like, well, if you're just doing cardio, why don't you try some strength training stuff too? And so like we did squat sets together with weights. And then I was just like, nice to meet you. Bye.
That
So
is
it's just
amazing.
a cool moment.
And
Um,
the reason kind of why I asked was I know a lot of people when they're really trying to lose weight and be healthy, a lot of the reasons why they don't or things that hold them back are because they don't have a gym membership. So you didn't have a gym membership the entire time.
no, actually, my husband just got one so that he can go swimming, and I still haven't used it yet. Well, the weather is really nice. I'd rather be outside, and I like my free weights. And I think in the future I might get to where I want to do that, but like I really wasn't comfortable. Nobody's ever been unkind to me. I've been lucky that that's not been a thing. Like nobody's ever made me feel bad for being in the gym. But I did have a bad habit when I did have a gym membership years ago, is I would go and work out and then I would go get a shake and just completely ruin everything I had just done. Um, so and also we don't have a lot of time in the evenings. My son has group therapy, has individual therapy, and it's a lot of time to take out of the day because I know that we had talked about that as one of my really big struggles is I don't have 2 hours in the day to give up to go over there to do the out to work out and then take a shower and then come home and I still have to make dinner or have somebody else and if somebody else is making it's probably going to be fast food. So it just doesn't set us up for success. So I really liked the focus on what can I do at home? What can I find on YouTube? What can I do with dumbbells? What can I do with yoga? I really like some of the yoga videos that I found and just make small improvements that led to better habits that kind of defined a new normal for me. I would say that's the difference between working with you and anything else that I had done is it was a very do this thing for this long and then you're going to get this results and you've never approached it that way. It was let's make small and steady improvements and then you'll see better. You'll have a new definition of normal. So if I go a couple days and I don't go walking, it feels weird. um, if I were to go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac and a big fry, I would feel horrible afterwards. Um, it's normal to have vegetables, and like if I go out with my team or something like that, and we go to like Schooners, like I was really disappointed in their vegetable choice, and I remember just sitting there like,
I remember that in your check-in.
yeah. It's like, oh, okay, we have a salad, but it's like iceberg lettuce. Like it wasn't good enough. I was like, there's no spinach here. I don't see any beets. I'd really like some squash, some peas, some carrots. Like, there's none of the things that I really want. It would make me feel good to eat. So I'll just get something small and then, have something I'd rather enjoy later.
Yeah, and it's so easy to be caught up in that moment and going to a bar or a restaurant and ordering because you feel like you have to and eating the food, even though, like you said, you came to that point where you were able to realize that this might not make me feel good and this might not
Mhm.
like set me up for success. So I'm just going to minimize it right now because the choice is mine.
Mhm. That's the other thing I think I've really helped change the way I look at food is if I'm at Skinner's with my team, like I don't have to have a bunch of onion rings and a whole cheeseburger. There is food other places that I will have access to shortly. And that was one of the things that I had struggled with really a lot was just from history and my childhood. And you don't have to eat everything in front of you. And if you don't like what's there, don't eat it or eat enough to be polite and get you through and then go have something that's a better choice later. Like if the table isn't working for you to the extent that you are able to, you can leave that table and make a better choice. You're not stuck in it. It's not stuck. So if I have a huge Thanksgiving meal, like I can still go and have whatever I want, but it's 2 or 3 bites of all of the things. I don't have to be stuffed. And if I really, really like it and I really, really enjoy it, because there was a chocolate cake at Thanksgiving, I think I told you about, that was amazing. So I had my slice and I cut it in half and then I waited a little while and then I had it later. So just remembering that I'm not in a food scarce situation, I can make better choices. I have options. And I don't think I ever really thought of it that way before. It was just, this is in front of me now, so I have to eat all of it. And I don't need to do that.
Yeah, and I remember one of your check-ins, how you kind of discussed that around that time of year, a lot of people bake you goods and they're your
Mm-hmm.
favorite, right? And
Oh,
there was a moment where back in your day, you would have
yeah.
eaten the whole thing right there and then, exactly. So
Yes.
many fall guilty to that. So you and anyone who's listening, you're not alone in that. It's very, very common. But you were actually able to, I'm not sure if you had any in the moment, but you put it in your
Um,
freezer and then a lot like actually enjoyed it.
yes, I had a slice. I had one slice that kind of felt that, oh my God, this is fresh. She just baked it and brought it over. It's still warm. So she made pumpkin bread. It was for a fundraiser. So it was even like the warmth for the kids. She gave it to me for the kids. Um, and I just kind of was like, I posted in a Bringing Balance group and was like, okay, I need help because I want to just shove all of this into my mouth because it's amazing and fresh and one of my favorite things. And again, kind of that, okay, I don't have to do this all right now. I can piecemeal it out. I can come back to this later. I can enjoy it and not worry about it or feel guilty. Um, and then I'll have some later that I can enjoy. And it won't be as great as like that particular day because it was fresh out of the oven, but it's still pretty darn good warming it up later. And it lasted a lot longer and it was a lot kinder to my midsection that way.
Yeah, so in the moment, like you said, it can seem really urgent because you know it's good and you want it, and this person that you love gave that to you as a gift. So you want to not hurt their feelings, but at the end of the day, you were actually able to enjoy that for a longer period of time, and
Mhm.
it worked out better for you in the end. And that's kind of something else I kind of wanted to touch on as well, is baked goods are delicious. I love sweets, I love desserts, and there is something different about a homemade dessert or something that's boxed and made at a store. I know
Mhm.
personally that if it's something pre-made at a store, it's not even worth it to me because it's not even going to taste that good. So the things that I
Mhm.
eat, I want to make sure that I'm actually enjoying them and liking them. So going from there, you've been talking about a lot of your food choices and stuff. What are some things that you ate throughout your journey and are eating now that before you would have restricted and you would not have allowed?
Um, so I don't know that I wouldn't have allowed it. I probably would have eaten whatever I want. I just would have eaten too much of it. And felt really horrible afterwards. So my son loves pizza, and he has sensory issues with food, and so we have a very limited menu of things we can have. And on Wednesday nights, I have just this little tiny bit of time from when I get home to feed him and then get back across town. And so we have pizza on Wednesdays, but I have salad and a little bit of pizza, whereas before it just would have been a whole lot of pizza and I still might have been hungry when we came back from group. Um, so I wish there might have been something I would have restricted before, but
Yeah.
no. But I would say I enjoy what I do eat. That's bad more, and I have smaller bits of it now, and just kind of, is this worth it? Yes, I'll go ahead and eat it. But if it's not worth it, like McDonald's is really not worth it. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it tastes. It's too salty. It's really not worth it. So we don't have fast food like that anywhere near as much as we would have had like a year ago. And if we do have to get something fast, it's more a whole wheat sandwich from like Subway or Jimmy John's has the whole wheat subs. So we'll do that and not something deep fried. So even now, like it doesn't feel good to eat it.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
don't know
just
if that answers your question.
remarkable in itself that you can sit here and say that you've lost nearly 50 pounds and you're keeping that off
Mhm.
and you're still eating pizza.
Yep.
A lot of people would not think that that would be possible. Um, they think pizza is carbs and fats and cheese, and I can't have that, but you're
Mhm.
actually living that. So that's truly
Mhm.
remarkable.
Right. It's just all about, moderation.
Yeah,
Have
exactly.
the small slice of pizza. Give the big one to my kid so he gets some calories because he needs them. Um, so just enough, right? It doesn't have to be a ton,
Mhm.
and you're fine. I'd rather have actually. I find that I like the salad that I have with it a little bit more. And honestly, if I just probably made some better meal prep, I could probably replace that slice of pizza and just have it when I really want it, as opposed to we just have it Wednesday nights.
Yeah, but
So,
that's kind of the thing as well is that you know that your son enjoys pizza, and that is something that you're not necessarily willing to give up because at the end of the day, we still have a life to live.
mhm.
And it is about moderation, moderation, not deprivation. We still need to be able to eat these foods that we like and love because food should both be nourishable and pleasurable. It should be both of those things.
Mhm.
We've kind of gotten to this culture where we avoid it like the plague. It brings us so much anxiety and shame and guilt, and it really consumes all of our thoughts because we think, should we be eating this or should we not be eating this? So great choices. That's amazing.
Work, work in
Um,
progress, trying. Yeah.
what what would you say are a couple of things that were different about my coaching and my method?
Um, I think I say it every time I talk about you is you've never made me feel like I was fundamentally wrong in the way I approached anything. It was more, okay, everybody's a work in progress. You're a work in progress. You're doing a lot of really good things, and let's see what those good things are. And then, okay, you got some room to improve over here. Maybe this week, not so great with our choices. How can we improve that as opposed to you never made me feel like a failure, even if I might have done something that didn't align with the goals I was trying to enact. Um, I would say what was different is I think if you had come at me like, we're going to change your lifestyle, Shauna, I'm like, yeah, okay. But you never did. It was, what's one good habit that we can add this week that will help you reach your goal? What are your goals of what's your motivation for why you want to do this? And you had me articulate that. And I don't know that anything else had made me do that, is really think through why is this not good enough for you? Why is today and everything that you're doing, why is it not okay for what you want in your life? And where do you want to be? What are small things that you can do that will get you there? And I think that was really the difference, is it wasn't we're going to magically transform everything and everything's going to be perfect. It's you're going to do better things and you're going to have better results. And then as you continue to get better, we'll continue to change those goals. So trying to be active in a new way, just adding water, being more mindful about vegetables, finding out the vegetables that I really like. I didn't know I liked beets. That was news to me. I actually really enjoy them. Actually, I have a spaghetti squash in my fridge right now that we're going to have for dinner tomorrow night. Never would have picked that up before. We have zucchini. So if we had vegetables, like it was green beans out of a can, and you really encouraged me to think more about fresh foods and whole foods and putting better content into your body and seeing it more as investing in myself as opposed to just enjoying the nammies. So I would think it was just, I'm very much type A, and I want to control what I'm doing. And you always gave me that ability. Is you never told me I had to do anything. You encouraged me to find a good habit that I wanted to add. And you might have given suggestions, or here's some options of good choices you could make, what speaks to you. And I think that was a fundamental different from any other program that I've done, because it's not just a here's your magic ticket, here's everything that you need to be better as a person, as a human being, because you're wrong because you're fat. You never ever made me feel remotely like that. And I think if you had, frankly, like I would not be where I am now. So I've always really appreciated that about you, is that you're very um, affirmative. I can't think of the best word. Like you build people up. And I think that's different. It's not, we have to fix you. It's how do we improve so that you can be the best you that you want to be. And I think that's a very different approach from anything else. Because as opposed to you're eating too much, we'll fix that. You're not active enough, we'll fix that. It's no, how can you be a better you, and what do you see as ways to get there? How can I help you? As opposed to do this. And I don't think that's ever worked for me very well at all.
You're making me emotional over here. With everything that you just said, how how has you taking control of your life and your health? What other areas has that impacted for you,
Um,
or people
it
or
certainly hasn't
situations?
helped my confidence. Not that I ever, like, even though I'm a big girl, I've never felt ugly. And, my husband, I probably have to thank a lot for that, and my dad. Um, but I feel more confident in who, like, not arrogant, but I feel comfortable in my skin. And I think that translates because I've always been a pretty happy, sparkly kind of gal. And actually, I've noticed that I've been wearing less physical sparkles because I don't feel the need for them as much. So I have these, but I didn't have the big sparkly necklace that I definitely could have rocked today because I feel better on the inside. I don't need as many sparkles. And I kind of realized that over time too, is that I would wear nicer clothes or better jewelry so that I would feel prettier or more confident. And I'm just more comfortable in my skin. Um, I know as people look at me now, I always kind of think of, well, I look much better now. So of course they're looking. And every now and again, it's uncomfortable to get attention when I'm not really used to it. Um, but like it's not a negative. And I will say, since we've been working together, like things at work have been going great. My career has been going well, and I've been working on assignments. I got a small bonus because our company gave a bonus, but I also got like a personal bonus for moving some work forward. And so, like career rise, things are going pretty well. I'm pretty happy.
That's
Um, stay. I just feel better. I don't know if I can just roll it up into that. Like I feel more comfortable. And like we've talked about, I have some dietary restrictions, and I'm really good about saying, no, I can't do that. That will make me, that is not worth it. Not today, Satan. So I've done really well with that. And I know I said we do have pizza. I don't know what Little Caesars puts in their pizza, but the cheese content's questionable because I'm fine with it. Never had a problem. So either it's very aged Munster and mozzarella, or they're lying about their ingredients. But that one I've never had an issue with. But I know there are some things that I do, and I don't even want them. They don't even look good anymore. And I don't think that would have been the true story. Like I would have mourned seeing somebody eating a big cheesecake a year ago, and now I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
and that's amazing because throughout your journey, you've actually been able to make those correlations within your mind and in your body, and you've turned inward. You've really found out what works for you and what doesn't agree with you. And too often a lot of us go through life and we feel these stomach aches, we have these headaches, we are having acne and all of these problems, and we're chalking it up to being normal. So you're actually making that step and being aware and conscious of your choices, and overall you're feeling better, and it's
Mhm.
just improving everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's nice to not feel terrible.
Yeah. We've been on here for 25 minutes already, so I don't want to keep you all night. But before
Okay.
you go, last question kind of. If someone were skeptical or unsure about doing coaching with me or in general, what would you tell them?
I would tell them don't try it. Just try it. Um, you're not making any big promises that are grandiose and unbelievable. Um, you're what you say you're going to help people with is what you help people with. You know, what you put out there is pretty accurate. And I love that you have your Bringing Balance group because people can join that and kind of get to know you. Because I know a couple of my friends have done that and they've found in you the same things I've seen in you and have learned to look inward too. So I would say, like, oh God, so worth it. Everything I have done with you has been just so worth it. And my program with you ended last fall. And we're still in contact. Like when I bought new pants, I sent you a text and I was like, you won't believe it. I'm back to my high school size. It's amazing. And you were like, yes, with me. And you're just a really great person. And I think you instill in other people the ability to improve themselves. So I I would encourage people to come try. I mean, if nothing else, if everything else failed, I think even just being with you and talking with you, you would have a better sense of who are you now, who do you want to be tomorrow, and a path of how to get there. And maybe sometimes you're not quite ready to take those steps because of whatever your reasons are. You still are very much okay. Well, then today's not the right day. Come talk to me tomorrow. Come back. Like when you're ready, I will help you every step of the way. So if anyone were skeptical, I would say don't. Like I can't speak highly enough of you. You've just been wonderful, and my life is a lot better. I feel better. I look better. Um, like I said, my job's going great. I haven't had anything that I have ever done with you that I can look back and say, I didn't like this experience or something rubbed me the wrong way. Literally nothing. And again, I'm a type A kind of gal. If it didn't work, I would have checked out. I wouldn't be doing this video. Um, I wouldn't worry about it. Like you are never going to be sorry that you started today. But if today you're not ready, that's cool. Join the group, learn what you can, get that support system for you because that is huge and free. And take your baby steps. And then when you're ready, reach out to you because you'll be there and you'll help. So don't be skeptical.
That's
That's what I would say.
amazing. I just want to thank you so much for coming on here. You were amazing and you're such an inspiration, and you do have some love coming through in the comments as well, and I know that you can't see
Aw,
them. So your sister is here and she's sending you love.
aw,
Um, Linda, good stuff here. Pam says very good, and Karen says yay, very inspiring. So I just want to encourage you to really keep going. You're killing it,
oh yeah.
and I love that you've been able to keep this up long after our coaching has been over,
Mhm.
because I really do pride myself in teaching you the skills that you need so you don't have to waste your money anymore. You don't have to jump from diet to diet or gimmick or fad or any of these things. You're actually equipped yourself internally with what you need. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I did want to say that, like, what I've noticed if I were starting to backslide, I would just reuse some of the things we talked about. Like, I would start over my good habits. For that week, I need to have 2 glasses of water with every meal, and I need to have a vegetable with lunch and dinner, ideally two. And like they were really basic building blocks that I can, if I've been slacking, start using those again, and everything starts coming back in line. And again, you helped me find what worked for me, which is why I think that has worked this long. And I think, um, if you don't mind me staying just 1 or 2 more minutes,
You
I
go
went and
ahead.
saw my doctor and
Oh,
did
I
my checkup, and he was like,
forgot.
"This is nice. This is good work. What'd you do?" And I was like, "Well, I worked with a lady, and she kind of helped me find a more sustainable way to live and be comfortable and have a better relationship with food." And he was like, "Can I get her name?" Because he said it was really refreshing to see lifestyle change that was sustainable as opposed to, "Oh, well, I haven't had bread in 16 years and I'm miserable and unhappy and my blood pressure's through the roof, but my waistline's gone down." Um, so yeah, that was kind of a cool moment. I couldn't wait to get into the doctors. I was like, let's talk about my chart.
Yes, and that's so amazing because it is. Everyone wants a diet or wants to cut out these things in their life, but in reality, you like those things. Like
Yeah.
no food item should be cut out, especially if you like it or you ate it in your childhood or it brings back those memories or you're enjoying it with your family or your children. That's just amazing.
Yeah. It was, it's been a really great experience. I'm really grateful to you. Thank you, Mackenzie. You've just been such a joy to do this with, and thanks for keeping in touch with me. And I really hope some other ladies are able to do what I've done because it is totally achievable. And I don't know that I would have felt that way a year ago. Like my goal is to be under 200 pounds by the end of the year. And like that's a huge goal, but
Yeah,
it's totally,
you're
it's
gonna
doable.
get there before the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm sure trying. And whenever like I start to self-sabotage or realize I've made a lot of good progress, I can keep coming back to those basics. And I just really appreciate you and anyone who's watching. Thank you for the loves and the comments. And I love you, Laura. Um, I
You have
just
someone
good
crying.
stuff.
This just in, you have someone crying.
Oh no, is it Laura?
No, it's not. Happy tears.
Oh, love you
Thank
too.
you. Thank you so much again for taking the time tonight, and I will definitely be in touch.
Yeah, if not, I'll bug you when I go shopping again.
Let, I'm just gonna try to get you off of here. I guess it won't happen. So, ladies,
Here,
if
I
you're
can
watching,
X out.
yeah, go ahead. Ladies, if you are watching, this intrigued you at all, if you have questions about working with me, if you have concerns, you've tried things in the past, you suffer from anxiety, bulimia, disordered eating, are not alone and I can help you and I can help you achieve these lifestyle transformations that can actually get you where you want to go and actually have them be sustainable. So please feel free to reach out to me. The next round of Body Balance Revolution does start in May and it will fill up. So please contact me as soon as possible and I will put the link for the wait list in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful Thursday. I will see you next time.